Hey, I'm Izzy Travel Specialist. Welcome to today's training, Make Your Photos Pop. The reason why I put this training together for our team members, it's because I get the comment all the time. Hey, Izzy, how do you make your pictures so beautiful, so vibrant? They look so nice. Well, I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of secrets, really deep secrets of my photo editing skills. Now, mind you, I am not a professional photographer. I learned this in the journey when I started becoming a travel specialist. I started posting more on social media. And well, because I was becoming an entrepreneur, having my own business, I needed to create really nice content. So that was the main motivation of learning this, basically. Okay. So if you want to have more details, go ahead and check out the description box below. You're going to have a link there and you can check out more things that are going to help you in this process of photo editing. But let's get started, okay? So the very first thing that I want you to know is what exactly do you need in order to take a decent picture? All you need is a cell phone. Mind you, you might need to upgrade your cell phone if you want to take high quality photographs. If you've had maybe your cell phone for a very long time, the pictures are coming out kind of grainy. Well, let me tell you, it's time to upgrade. Okay. But remember, for us as travel specialists, that is a write off. So no worries. Second, you need to learn a little bit more about your camera features and learn a little bit about editing apps, which we are going to be doing today. And you need time and a desire to play with those features and just play around with those pictures that you have. Okay. Now, before we get started, I do want to recommend if you're watching this video from your cell phone, go ahead and change it over. I want you to be doing it either from a computer, a laptop, a tablet. And the reason is because I want to have your cell phone in your hand. And I want this training to be a little bit more hands-on. So while I'm explaining, while I'm showing the tips and tricks, go ahead and have your photo gallery open, have your cell phone and start editing yourself. Okay, so let's get started. Photo editing vocab. Some features that you're going to find on your camera or on any of the editing apps, they're going to have basically the same name and the same icons. So that's why it's important to go over them. So let's start with the exposure. The exposure is going to refer to that amount of light that reaches the camera sensor during the capturing process. So the exposure is something that you want to use mostly when you're about to take the photograph. So if you open up your camera, I have an iPhone. Sorry if you're an Android, but I'm going to be explaining things mostly with the example that I have with iPhones, but it's very similar with Androids as well. So if you open up your camera, if you tap on the screen, you're going to see a little yellow square that pops up with a little sun next to it. That's going to be your exposure. And if you grab it, you can scroll down, up and down with it, and the lighting is going to change. That feature of the exposure is going to be wonderful if you're taking photographs of the sunset or the sunrise. Sometimes we don't get the right lighting, or maybe of the moon. So play around with the exposure before you take the photograph. And I'm telling you, your pictures are going to come out a lot nicer. Now we also have the brightness. The brightness is mostly for after you take the photograph. The brightness is going to adjust the overall lightness and darkness of an image. The same icon is going to be similar to a little sun. We also have the contrast, the difference between the light and dark areas of an image. So if you increase the contrast, your photograph is going to be a lot more dramatic. If you decrease it, it's going to be softer. Go ahead and open up your photo gallery and let's play around a bit with these features. So I am going to go to my photo gallery. I'm just going to choose any photograph that I have at the moment. It can be any. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do this one. And I am going to click on edit. Usually it's going to be at the top right. And then if you click on any of those features, the exposure, the brightness, the contrast, you can play with it, right? So let me go into the brilliance or brightness. And if I scroll all the way up, you'll see how the image starts changing. If I go all the way down, it's going to go a lot darker. I'm going to put it back to 0 where it was. And now I'm going to explore with the contrast, which is that circle, which is with the white and black. And if you increase the contrast, the image is going to look a little bit more dramatic. If you decrease it, you take it all away, the image is going to look a little bit softer. Okay. So start playing around with those camera features with any image that you have right now on your phone. Now we're going to play around also with the saturation. So the saturation, basically, it's the intensity of colors in an image. However, I want you to be careful when you play with the saturation, because if you do it too much, it can look kind of fake. So I'm going to do it right now with this image right here. I'm going to increase it completely. The image looks kind of fake, almost animated. So we don't want to increase it too much. We want to be careful on how much we increase the saturation. Versus the vibrance, what the vibrance does, it also adjusts the intensity of the colors, but it's going to be in a more subtle and selective way compared to the saturation. So my recommendation, play with the vibrance more and just be a little bit careful with the saturation. Okay, you can combine both of them. Now, another feature is going to be the filters. You're going to see it with the little circles, the 3 circles, usually right here at the bottom. And what a filter is, it's basically a preset effect. So you can apply it to an image, and it's basically like a tone that's going to change the appearance. So if you go ahead and tap on filters, you can just explore the different filters that you have. You find filters on Facebook, you find filters on Instagram. Whenever you're posting a story and you start swiping, those are filters. And it changes the image entirely of the colors of the image. So it only applies one tone to the entire photograph. That's one way that you can edit your pictures and they can still look really nice. But today I want to show you the difference between filters and presets. Okay, so presets are actually saved collections of adjustment settings that can be applied to an image. Meaning, a filter is going to be just one tone onto the entire photograph, versus a preset is only created by either a professional, someone that knows how to create presets. So what they do is they play around with all the features, with the exposure, with the contrast, saturation, sharpness, all these things, they combine it and then they set it. That's what we call a preset. So when you apply a preset to a photograph, all these things are going to start changing and they're going to look a lot nicer. Now, presets are not just going to be found on your phone. They have to either be, like I said, custom made by a professional, or you can download them from a creator. Okay. And again, if you want some presets, you can go ahead and check the description below. And I have some of the presets that I personally use in case you are interested. All right. So what are the apps that we're going to be exploring today? We already checked out the camera features, right? But some of the other photo editing apps that I use are CapCut, Canva, Lightleap, Photo Retouch, and Lightroom. Go ahead and write them down or take a screenshot so you can start downloading them and we can play with them. So before I get started with the actual apps, I wanted to show you some examples, okay? In the meantime, you can go ahead and start downloading them. So this is a photograph, the one of the before. It's a beautiful sunset that I was watching in South Korea this year. But of course, the image looks beautiful, but sometimes the camera doesn't do justice to what we're seeing with our eyes. So that's why I wanted to apply a preset to make it look a lot nicer and more appealing for social media. So I used here a preset. You can see how much the colors adjust, the different tones. It looks a lot more vibrant and nicer on the after picture. If I have any Disney lovers here, I also went to Disney this year. I had a lot of travel in 2024. So all the pictures that I'm showing you were from this year, all my travels. So I went to Disney World and I took a quick picture of the castle. And then when I applied a preset, you can see the after, how much more vibrant and lively it is. Even the light, you see the light that's exiting the window from the castle above. You can barely see it in the before picture, and look in the after, it's a lot more detailed. Another trip from this year, I went to some hot springs, beautiful hot springs in Costa Rica. And If you see the before picture, honestly, it doesn't do justice of how gorgeous this place was. So I absolutely needed to apply either a preset or just this photograph. And this is how the after looks like. A lot more inviting, a lot more attractive. It's going to be captivating when you're posting this on social media. All right, another trip was to Las Vegas. I went to Seven Magic Mountain. I went with one of my best friends, and we were doing a photo shoot, of course, for our social media because we're both travel specialists. But if you see in the before picture, not only the colors are different, but there's also people inside of the image, right? This is a very touristy area. Now I'm going to show you during this training how you can eliminate those people from your images. As you see in the after, the colors are a lot brighter and those people, poof, I made them disappear. All right, so now what I want to show you is our first app. I'm going to do it from my desktop. This is going to be with Canva. I haven't done any editing here, so I want to do the editing with you guys. So let me go into Canva and let's go ahead and change the after picture. So what we're going to do is if you click on the image that you want to edit, at the very top, you're going to see a bar show up. Click on edit. And whenever you want to play with the vibrance, the saturation, the exposure, the brightness, everything that we've talked about, and on any platform, it's going to be under adjust. Okay, so always click on adjust if you want to play with all those features. However, on Canva, you also see filters. So I'm just going to click on the first one, fresco. You already see the difference there, how nice it is, how different it is from the original photograph. If you want to undo, just go ahead and click the arrow at the top. But let's play a little bit with those features that we've been talking about. So I am going to click on adjust, scroll down, and I want to play mostly with my saturation and my vibrance. Remember that I was telling you, if you play too much with your saturation, it's going to look kind of fake. And I'm going to exaggerate it here. If you go all the way to the top, you see that, yes, it looks much more vibrant, but it looks kind of fake. It's a little bit too much and you want your photos to look realistic. So I'm going to bring that saturation a little bit lower and I'm going to be playing a little bit more is with my vibrance because it's going to increase the color, but in a more natural, subtle way, looking a lot nicer. All right. So if you love to use Canva, Canva is a perfect photo editing app for you so you can make your pictures pop. Okay, so now I'm going to begin to share my screen on my phone so I can show you guys as well the apps that I use for photo editing from my cell phone, because usually it's going to be a lot easier for you to edit from your phones because we're already taking all our pictures from our phones anyway. Okay, so now I am sharing my screen on my phone. I'm going to be showing you the other 4 apps that I use, which are these Lightleap, Photo Retouch, CapCut, and Lightroom. So the very first one we're going to go into is CapCut. It's usually known more for video editing, but if you see at the very top, the first option says photo editor. I'm going to just select any photo that I have. And if you click on edit, you are able to scroll at the bottom and see different features. So you have filters, you can play around with the background. If you click on adjust, all those features that we've been speaking about are going to pop up. So the saturation, the vibrance, you can start increasing it or decreasing it and changing your photograph however you like. Whenever you are done editing, all you have to do is click on the little check mark and save the photograph. If you maybe want to undo, you can use the arrows or you can use the very bottom button where it says reset and it's going to go back to the beginning. Okay, I'm not going to go too deep into CapCut. I want to show you 2 of my favorite apps right now. So I'm not going to do any editing on that picture because I'm going to be showing you something really cool with Lightleap. So sometimes we can't control the weather. We go to a really nice place and maybe we take a photograph, right? And it's not looking that great. So this was some of the editing that I did with this app. Okay, but I'm going to redo and I'm going to show you exactly how I was able to turn it from this very dim grayish type of picture into something nicer. So at the bottom, you're going to see the option that says sky. If you tap on sky, you're going to see all these colorful options pop up. Some of those circles and features have a little star on it. Those are paid features, pro features, but it's okay. There's a lot of free features as well to use. I don't use all the colorful ones. I go straight into the blue sky and I click on the circle that has no star on it. So if you see, once I clicked on it, that beautiful cloudy sky pops up, but you can play with it a little bit more. If you tap on those three little dots and you click on random several times, you're going to see that the clouds are randomly going to start to readjust, and you can choose whichever you like the most. You can also play with the horizon, click on horizon and just play with the slider there. Same with the feathering. All right. You don't have to go crazy into detail. My favorite part is just playing around with the sky. So I'm going to undo everything that I've done. Let's say I'm going to leave this option. Before I exit, I always have to click on the check mark so it saves the changes. Now I'm going to scroll over to the adjustments. So let's scroll and find adjust. Let's see over here. Click on adjust, and then you can click on vibrance and increase it a bit. I'm going to look for the saturation and increase it a bit. And you see already it's an entirely different photograph, right? If you're happy with your photo editing, go ahead and click on the check mark. And at the very top, you're going to see the option that says export. Once you click on export, you can click again at the bottom at export, and then your photograph is going to be saved into your photo gallery. Pretty neat, right? Amazing. So now you're going to start going crazy photo editing. Sometimes we travel, we have a really nice place that we went to, but maybe the day wasn't looking that great. Maybe your camera wasn't taking a great shot. This is how you can adjust that. Okay, but especially going to be applying for when you want to have somewhere outside with nature. And it's mostly going to be during daytime that you can adjust these type of photographs. Okay. If you take a picture at night and you want maybe something like a starry night, you are able to also find under the sky option, different skies, but those tend to look a little bit more fake. So that's my recommendation. Just play around a little bit more with that sky option. All right. So I'm going to exit Lightleap. Okay, so now I'm going to be showing you how you can delete either objects or people that maybe got in the way of your photographs. So the next app is going to be the Photo Retouch. This is basically like a very basic Photoshop app. You can do a lot of things here, but I'm not going to be going over all of it. You can go ahead and explore it, because the main feature that I use here is going to be the AI eraser. You can use this app for, you want to improve maybe a selfie, you want to smooth out your skin, change the color. You can do a lot of things, but I'm going to focus on the AI eraser. So if you click on AI eraser, I'm going to go ahead and select this photograph, that first photograph that I have there, and I'm going to edit it. If you click on the picture and this pops up, no worries. You don't have to pay anything. It's for free. Just click on the little X. And I'm going to be changing this photograph. So again, this was in Las Vegas, 7 Magic Mountains. I was taking a picture, but then there were 2 more people right there next to the rocks that I was taking a picture of. So it's okay. We can delete them. How are you going to delete them? At the very bottom, you're going to see the option that says AI eraser. The slider where it says size, you can play around with the size of the brush that you're going to be using. So depending on what you're deleting, you need to adjust the circle or the size of the brush. Because if you leave it too big and you start erasing, it can start modifying as well your entire photograph, and you don't want that. So you have to be careful. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Okay. And the brush is already selected. You see that's already in blue. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in. You got to be very careful. I'm going to zoom in. If that happens, for example, I just tapped on the screen with my finger accidentally, and all you need to do at the very top is with that arrow, click undo. No worries. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start deleting or selecting first the object or the person. If you see carefully on my screen, it also shows up a little square showing me a closer take of the image so I can be a little bit more detailed of what I'm deleting. So basically, I'm just holding my finger and sliding this over. Remember, I'm doing this from my phone. So I'm just gonna make sure that I am selecting all of her, everything, shoes, clothes, everything at all. And once I have her selected, I'm gonna click on go. And then magic happens. She's gonna be deleted. We're gonna do the exact same thing with the other person right next to her. Just be very careful, trying to get all the details. And it doesn't only work with people. If there's maybe an object, maybe there's a rock in the way, anything like that at all, you can try to delete it to make the picture look nicer and exactly how you want. So I already selected her and I'm going to click go again. And I completely deleted her. And now this is my picture. Okay. Now I don't have them there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to click at the very top, that little check mark on the right-hand side. And then again, the circle with the arrow. And here's where you're going to be able to save the photograph. I'm going to click on save. And I'm going to go back. So this is the amazing feature I wanted to show you with photo retouch and how to delete objects or people. But now with that picture that I just saved, I'm going to go into the final app, which is Lightroom. This is my favorite app to use nowadays because I have my presets here. So Lightroom, it's also one of the best programs that you can find out there, and a lot of the professional photographers use it. So I'm going to click on the photograph that I want to edit. And I already have, remember, filters are going to be on your phone, on different apps, but presets are not there. You need to either purchase them, create them, and you need to download and install them. And again, if you want more information about this, you can check the description I have below of this video. So I already have presets created and set installed into my Lightroom app. So if you see the little two circles at the bottom, I'm going to click on that. And all of these are presets that I already have. All of these. These are ones that I created and I installed. So I'm going to go ahead and just select one of these. I'm going to go into the Ultimate Pack. And I'm going to start tapping just the different presets to show you how it starts modifying the picture. So I'm just going to click on all of these. You can see how it starts changing. Maybe the sky is brighter, darker, right? Different type of coloring. This one even changes the stones. You see that in this picture, the original picture, it's yellow, the second stone, and in this one, it's white. And it's just a matter of a click. All the magic happens by just having the preset and selecting it. Okay. All of these. The great thing about presets is that you can have a certain amount of collections of presets, and I have presets for everything. Like I have some that are good when I'm taking pictures of nature, of water, of selfies. If maybe I wanted to look a little bit more artistic. If it's food, I'm a foodie. I'm a big foodie when I'm traveling. So I like to take pictures of my food. So I have a specific collection. If you see here, it's called Yummy Collection, and I use that for my foods. So just choose whichever preset that you want. I'm just going to select any of these. It's going to be the same process. Let's say I'm selecting that one. I'm going to click on the check mark at the bottom to save the changes. If I want to play a little bit more with the saturation, the colors, and all of that, you can also do that here with these options of the light, the color. But in this case, I'm just going to save it as it is. So I'm at the very top, you're going to see the circle with the 3 dots. Click on that. And then the first option says save copy to device. If you tap on that. It's going to save the photograph onto your photo gallery. Okay. So this is definitely a game changer if you want to learn how to do some really great photo editing. So just a quick reminder, which are the 4 apps? The first, well, 5 apps. The first one was Canva, then is Lightleap, Photo Retouch, CapCut, and Lightroom. And again, before we say bye-bye, remember that if you are interested in learning more about presets and how to download them or how to install them, I have a whole set of these, but you can find them in the description. Okay. So if you like this video, go ahead and follow and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you on my next training. Bye, guys. Take care.